had Ritik and Karanveer who had nominated themselves for the post of president. I'm going to give you another few moments in case you do want to also join this illustrious duo to nominate yourself as the president for the president's role. Okay. Going once, going twice, and going 3 times. It appears that there is nobody else who wishes to be nominated for the role of the president. I would like to ask somebody to move a motion to close nominations from the floor. Somebody propose to close nominations from the floor.
I propose to close the nomination from the floor.
Okay. Is there somebody to second that motion?
I second that.
Okay. Thank you, Shivangi. So a motion to close nominations for the role of the president has been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please unmute yourself and say yes.
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 All those against the motion say no. We have a unanimous yes to close nominations for the post of president. We now have 2 candidates for the post of president. We have Ritik Dash and Karanveer Singh. So the order in which we will now hear them for the 2 minutes as to why we must elect them will be in that order. First up, let's welcome Toastmaster Ritik Dash.
Thank you very much, Election Chair, for the recognition. Well, to be very honest, I always had a problem with status quo, and I always wanted a change or reform in any way or other. So let me now share my screen to show you something. I hope the screen is visible. Can anyone please confirm?
Yes, it's visible.
So Toastmasters, as you can see, this is an idea sheet, which is a sheet where everyone's name is written down. And this is particularly a sort of R&D of the club. If I get elected, I will be adding the link to the group description where you can add your own ideas. Hope you can see these 3 names: Game Master, Poet Master, Voice Modulating, Drama Scene. So basically, these are the ideas I want to give, which can be incorporated in the next meeting. So this is something that will add to the variability of the club's meeting, something that everyone should look forward, something that every other club will look forward. But as they say, changes are good, but obviously I'm not going to do something with the essence of the meeting. I'm just going to modify it, not change it. So with all that being said, I would love to tell you, if I ask my personality traits, Ritvik in July month was someone who used to procrastinate a lot. After that, coming into this club, taking up certain leadership roles in the EC, he stopped procrastinating. Today, you find a Ritvik before you who doesn't procrastinate. That is an improvement in my personality traits. I've shown you the manifesto of the ideation sheets link, which I'll be adding to the EC once I get elected. And that's how I believe I'll be able to do justice to my position. As far as the other election nominee is concerned, Mr. Karanveer, he is a great comrade of mine. We have great camaraderie, and there's nothing to be competitive, rather to be cooperative. So when he gets selected, I don't have any problem. I will be cooperating with him. He will be cooperating with.
Thank you, Ritik. Let's now welcome the second candidate for the post of the president, Toastmaster Karanveer Singh. Let's welcome Karanveer.
Thank you so much, Mr. Election Master. Very good evening, fellow Toastmasters. It's been 3 years today. I have been a part of Central Delhi Toastmasters. When I first came here, the only idea was that I should start speaking a little more and see where we are today. Each week since then, for the past 3 years, has been a new learning and a new experience. And beyond my communication skills, what I have found is a big family here. And today I cannot just imagine myself without Toastmasters. I have been in EC team for the 4th time now, first as Sergeant at Arms, then twice as VPPR, then as Treasurer, which allowed me to see how things in the club work internally. And after that, I also got an opportunity to work at a district level as webmaster. This allowed me to work with leaders of different clubs throughout India and see how they are doing things to develop their clubs and ensure quality and ensure their members' personal goals are achieved. When it comes to CDTM, I have been here for some time and I have seen it going through different phases. When there was an offline meeting of 50 plus members to an online meeting, then set up to an hybrid one. Meetings where we had Saurabh Babu as a speaker, where we had Deepak Menon sir as a speaker, and handling backouts at the last moment, doing stuff with the EC. It was an experience in itself. And I believe CDTM has a legacy of quality speakers and producing quality leaders. No wonder it's referred to as world's best club. And that is what I want to take forward. Hereby, I want to nominate myself for the post of president so that we together can take this club and all our members together to the next level. I ensure that I will serve to the best of my abilities and beyond. Thank you so much. Back to you, Election Master.
Thank you, Karanveer. We will now be casting our votes, but before that, Madam President, can we move those who are not part of the club currently, not members of the club, to a waiting area so that we only have the members present in the rooms and we are assured that it's only the members who can cast their votes.
Sure, sir. I'll take a few seconds.
Mm-hmm. So, members, please think about what you've just heard from the two candidates while the polls will be launched so that you make the best choice for Central Delhi Toastmasters, who you think can carry the legacy of Central Delhi Toastmasters forward.
We've moved them to the waiting room. We can now start with the polls. Do I have permission to launch the polls?
Yes, please go ahead, launch the polls. Okay, we have the polls in front of us. Let's vote. You have 15 more seconds to go. Have we received all the votes, please?
We need 2 more votes. Okay, we have all the votes in.
Okay, can we have the results?
I will take a few seconds to share the results with Deepak sir privately.
Okay. I suggest you can show them, display them on the screen, please. Let's let everybody see the results on the screen.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, here we are with the results. I declare Toastmaster Karanveer Singh elected as the president of the Central Delhi Toastmasters Club for the term January to June 2022. Congratulations, Karanveer.
Thank you so much, sir, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you. It's now time to move on to the next role, and that is of the Vice President Education. I now open the floor for nominations for the post of Vice President Education. Do I see any nominations? Okay. I first saw the hand of Ritik Dash. Ritik, please unmute yourself and tell us why you raised your hand.
I, Ritik Dash, would like to nominate himself for the post of the Vice President Education of Central Delhi Toastmasters Club.
Okay. Is there anybody who seconds Ritik's nomination?
I second his nomination.
Thank you. So Ritik's nomination is now placed in position. Let's now hear from Sanchit Bhushan. Yes, Sanchit.
So I, Sanchit Bhushan, would like to nominate myself for the position of Vice President Education.
Thank you. Is there anybody to second Sanchit's nomination?
I second his nomination, sir.
Thank you. We now have 2 nominations. Is there anybody else who would like to nominate themselves for the post of Vice President Education? Is there anybody else? Going once, going twice, going 3 times. I'm going to call for a motion to close nominations from the floor. Is there anybody who'd like to propose a motion to close nominations for the post of Vice President Education?
I propose a motion to close a motion for closing of the nomination
Of the role of Vice
for
President.
the role of
Education.
Vice President Education.
Thank you. We now have a motion on the floor to close nominations from the floor. Is there anybody who seconds the motion?
The motion.
Second, you've seconded the motion. We have a motion to close nominations from the floor, and it's been seconded. All those in favor of closing nominations from the floor, please say yes.
Yes.
Please unmute yourself and say
Yes.
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 All those against say no. Thank you. The motion is adopted. Nominations for the post of Vice President Education are now closed. We have 2 candidates. We have Ritik Dash and we have Sanchit Bhushan. And in order of surname, I'm going to first invite Toastmaster Sanchit Bhushan to speak for 2 minutes. As was done in the past, he will have 2 minutes to speak. And once the 2 minutes are done, he will be muted. Let's welcome Toastmaster Sanchit.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Why should I be elected for the position of Vice President Education? Let me tell you a few reasons. I have been working in the Department of Education of CDTM since 1.5 months, and I received a very good remarks from President, from Vice President Education, and from Secretary as well. Second thing, back in 2019, I was made a Student Culture Committee head when I was in a 4th year in my university from Law Department. And I, with my friends, with my team, juniors and my classmates, organized many events like Nukkad Natak skit plays, street plays on various occasions, and all we have attained the success because of the cumulative efforts of my group. And from that, I learned how to manage a group in a better way, how to understand the community and work accordingly, and how can I fix myself in a better way. Third thing, being an advocate, I can easily understand the concern of a person in front of me and to resolve the issue by conversing one-to-one. And my aim is not only to maintain the decorum, standard and quality of this club, but I want this club take it to the next level. I want to hear the name of CDTM not only in the nearby regions like Delhi or NCR, but I want to listen the name of Central Delhi Toastmaster Club in the whole northern part of India. Thank you. Your Excellency, the dignitaries and the members of Central Delhi Toastmaster Club, much obliged.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanchit. Next up is going to be Toastmaster Ritik Dash. Let's welcome Toastmaster Ritik.
So to talk about the history of my life when I was taking leadership roles, I have been the school vice captain from 2018 to 19 and school captain 2019 to 20. That was my introduction into the leadership roles. Then I joined the Toastmasters Club when I was in college, and within 4 months, I was able to complete a whole pathway, the presentation mastery. In my course, I have seen it all. L1, L2, L3, L4, L5, every single thing. And that's how I was able to judge. Even I have mentored a lot of Toastmasters present here itself. Not only that, I have represented my club in area and division level table topics and evaluation contests. I have been able to perform pretty well and bring out satisfactory results. Not only that, while I have pursued my pathways, I was able to go to different clubs during online mode. Maybe I have gone to the clubs of Saudi Arabia, England, and I've given speeches there. And that is how I was able to know what that club had, what my club didn't have. So maybe I was able to know what was the difference. And that is the reason I believe I'll be able to bring those things in my club itself. With all that being said, I should also say that I've also served a position in the VPM, and I've also seen how the education department works, because I was also a part of the team. Therefore, I believe exposure with the department, relevance to it, my way of completing my pathways, knowing all the intricacies, getting chance to speak in different area level and represent my club there, I believe all these three qualities will help me provide CDTM the best BPM ever possible. As far as the personality is concerned, I've already talked about my previous speech. All that being said, all your democratic right of vote is something I would surely oblige. Over to the team. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ritik. It's now time to move the non-voters out into another waiting room before we launch the polls for the candidates for the role of Vice President Education. Okay, we're ready to cast the polls now. Please go ahead, Shivangi.
Yes. Launching the polls.
Okay, please cast your vote on the screen in front of you. We've heard from both the candidates. If you haven't voted yet, please vote immediately. Shivangi, have we received the votes from all our delegates?
Yes, we've received all the votes.
Can we have the results? Anybody sweating?
Sharing the results on the screen.
Okay, we have a majority. Toastmaster Ritik Dash, I declare you elected as the Vice President Education of Central Delhi Toastmasters for the term January through June 2022. Congratulations, Ritik.
Thank you very much.
We now move on to the third position on the executive committee, and that is that of the Vice President membership. I now declare open nominations from the floor for Vice President membership. Is there anybody who'd like to nominate themselves? We have Navya Niti Makar, who has put her hand up. Navya, please unmute yourself and tell us what you have to.
Yes, sir. I would like to nominate myself for the post of Vice President membership.
Thank you, Navya. Is there anybody who wishes to second Navya's nomination?
I second Navya's nomination.
Thank you. I see Faiz Kamil with his hand up as well. Faiz, please unmute yourself and tell us why do you have your hand up, and can I? Yeah, there I can see you too.
I, Faiz Kamil, would like to nominate myself for the post of Vice President membership. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Do we have somebody to second Faiz's nomination?
I second.
Okay, so we now have two nominations.
So,
yeah.
So, Sanchit Bhushan. I, Sanchit Bhushan, also want to nominate myself for this post.
Okay, so Sanchit, we have now three candidates. We have Navya, we have Faiz, and we have Sanchit. And is there anybody to second Sanchit's nomination?
I second, sir.
Okay, Sanchit Bhushan, Faiz Kamil, and Navya Niti Makar. Okay, do we have any other nominations for the post of Vice President membership? The floor is still open. Okay, going once, going twice, going three times. Navya, your hand is still up. Do you want to say something more? Okay,
No, sir.
please lower your hand. I would like to have somebody propose a motion to close nominations for the post of Vice President membership. Who would like to move a motion to close nominations?
I propose to close the nomination from the floor for the position of Vice President membership.
Any second?
I second that.
Thank you. We have a motion to close nominations for Vice President membership and a second. All those in favor, please say yes.
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 All those against say no. The ayes have it. Nominations are closed for the post of Vice President membership. We now have 3 candidates for this position, and in order of surname, I will first invite Toastmaster Sanchit Bhushan to tell us for 2 minutes why we should elect him as Vice President membership. Let's welcome Sanchit.
I also have been working in this department of membership since 2 months, and I gathered too many guests to come to the on spot, even not online meeting, but the offline meeting as well. Second thing, being an advocate, I also learned how to counsel, how to conduct a counseling of a person to get their goals and achieves and their concerns resolved in a better manner. So I think myself to be fit for this position, to easily guide the guest to come at the spot or the online meeting so that they can join the Toastmaster Club. And as much as guests we have in future, the quality of club also depend on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanchit. Let's now welcome Toastmaster Faiz Kamil.
Thank you so much, Deepak sir. I've been part of this beautiful family, Central Delhi Toastmaster Club, since almost 8 months now. I am fortunate enough to see closely how our board members operate, especially the outgoing Vice President member TM Ritvik, how he has managed to put a lot of members on board. I think I understand the aspiration. I mean the USP, what our Central Delhi Toastmaster Club has to offer, and I can articulate the aspiration and the vision of Central Delhi Toastmaster Club to the prospect members and bring them on board. So why I say this with so much confidence, because this is something which comes natural to me. I very often recommend people Toastmaster Club. Let's suppose I give you an example, like how I recommend people to join Toastmaster Club subtly. I say very often to people, bro, you are so talented, but until and unless you are unable to articulate yourself, this is all useless. So I think you should join Toastmaster Club as soon as possible. And that's how my friend Vaibhavi Gunjal from Mumbai became Toastmaster Vaibhavi, and my friend Mukhayya from Hyderabad became Toastmaster Mukhayya. So I think board members can trust me with their votes, and I will ensure that I will carry on the legacy of the Central Delhi Toastmaster moving forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Faiz. It's now time to welcome Toastmaster Navya Niti Makkar.
Hi everyone, I'm Navya and I've nominated myself for the post of Vice President membership. All of us joined this club with this one goal of improving our communication and leadership skills. Likewise, I joined the club 2 months back with the similar objective. Back then, I was this extremely underconfident person. I did not know how to talk to people when you meet first, how to continue the conversation. I still remember my first call with Karanveer. I did not know what to say, how to continue the call. He was helping me out for the role I had to play in my first meeting. But gradually, in this past 2 months, I have become much more confident as a person. I have been working under the past vice president membership Toastmaster Ritik Dash from past 1 month in this membership department. I have been helping him. I have taken a number of guest briefings. I know how to attract guests, what to say them in the guest briefing so that they get attracted towards the club and become the members. I have become much more confident in calling people. From past couple of weeks, I have been talking to various guests so that they can become members, and I can personally say that this change in past 2 months has been really positive. In fact, the vice president Ritvik Dash only encouraged me to give my nomination for this post, because he considered that I am good enough for this post, and I have been working with him from past 1 month, and that's all from my side. And I'm really hoping for the next term. Thank you.
Thank you, Navya. It is now time for us to move the non-voters out to the waiting room and then have the polls launched for the vice president membership. We have 3 candidates. Remember, we need a majority for the election to be announced in favor of a particular candidate. If there is no majority received, then we will continue to cast our votes until somebody receives a majority. Or in case somebody drops out, then it may be just between 2 people or maybe just 1 person left. So let's see how things proceed.
Launching the polls now.
Okay. Please cast your vote immediately as soon as you see the polls on the screen. Has everybody voted?
We are waiting for a few more members to vote. Please cast your votes in the next 5 seconds.
Please cast your vote. I can imagine your confusion, and you have to make a decision. Who do you think will serve the club the best? I know all 3 will, but decide on 1 person.
We have 1 more member left to vote. Please cast your vote. All right, thank you. Ending the polls now.
Do we have the results now?
Yes, we have the results. Do I have your permission to share the results?
Please do share the results. Okay, we have a clear majority. Wonderful. I declare Toastmaster Puja as the Vice President membership of the Central Delhi Toastmasters Club for the term January through June 2022. Congratulations, Sanjay.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
It's now time to have the election for the post of Vice President Public Relations. Let's open the floor for the Vice President Public Relations position. We have 1 hand up already. Samkit, please unmute yourself and tell us what you have to say.
I, Sankitan, nominate myself for the Vice President Public Relations.
Is there somebody to second Samkit's
I second
nomination? Okay. And I see Sparshita's hand up. Sparshita, unmute yourself and tell us.
I, Sparshita, would like to nominate myself for the position of VPPR.
Okay. Is there a second for Sparshita's nomination?
I second.
Okay. So now we have 2 nominations from the floor, Samkit Jain and Sparshita Verma. Is there anybody else who wishes to be nominated? Is there anyone else who wants to be placed in nomination for Vice President Public Relations? Going once, going twice. It's gone. I'd like to have somebody propose a motion to close nominations for the post of Vice President Public Relations.
I propose to close the nomination for the position of Vice President Public Relations.
Okay, somebody second that motion?
I second that motion.
Thank you. We have a motion to close nominations for Vice President Public Relations and a second. All those in favor of the nomination, please say yes. Of the motion, please say yes.
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 All those against say no. Okay. The nominations for the post of Vice President Public Relations are now closed. We have 2 nominations. Let's now hear first from Toastmaster Samkit Jain. Let's welcome Samkit.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Today, I want to tell you that why I am the right person for the post of Vice President Public Relations. Currently, I am doing my postgraduate in digital marketing, which has given me vast exposure in the digital world. And I feel I can use that experience to help the club grow. Then secondly, right now I'm also part of EC as SAA, and I have also been helping VPPR, which has given me more confidence and knowledge as what the club demands from the VPPR and how I can help the club grow. I'm also part of transition team. So I believe I can keep helping the club in the transition from online mode to physical meeting. My work won't be just about social media and posters. It would be much more than that. It would be about adding new members to our CDTM family through various ways, like improving our Google search rankings, then starting new fun and entertaining campaigns, and keeping the current members engaged and updated. I also feel that I will learn a lot from this role, as I will be meeting and engaging with a lot of new people, which will give me experience to tackle all the different kind of situations. I can also help EC and President in taking certain decisions, as I have always been a firm and inclusive decision maker. So in the end, I will just say, if elected, I will perform my role and responsibilities properly, and I will try to exceed your expectations. Thank you. Back to Election Master.
Thank you, Samkit. It's now time to welcome Toastmasters Sparshita Verma.
To introduce myself, I am an economics graduate from LSR and soon going to pursue an MBA from a B school. In the meanwhile, I have decided to work for the club and help the club to budge on by holding the position of VPPR. As a VPPR, I want to work upon certain areas in the club. 1. Connecting with the right kind of people and hence making more and more people cognizant about our club by not only leveraging our social media channels, but also connecting with the people at a personal level by using the closest group of connections of which I am a part of. 2. The level of engagement on our social media platforms. Specifically considering our YouTube channel, we have 105 subscribers. I want to make this number as large as I can by bringing in creativity, regularity, and dedication into my work. Moreover, I've already been working in the PR team of the club under the leadership of TM Zubair, and hence have gained a good amount of experience in the work. Other than that, I have done several internships in social media marketing, and the insights and experience gathered there will definitely help me throughout my journey as a VPPR. Lastly, I want to say that I am a person who always tries to give her best and do every kind of work with perfection, which is evident from the numerous rewards I have won in the club in just 3 to 4 months of my tenure. And I want to say that I very well know the areas on which I have to work upon and how to work upon. The only thing I need is an opportunity and your support. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sparshita. Madam President, it's now time to remove those who are not members before we launch the polls for the 2 candidates, Samkit Jain and Sparshita Verma. You've heard from both the candidates. Now time for you to decide who you'd like to vote for.
Launching the polls now.
Yes, go ahead, please. The polls are in front of you. Please cast your vote for who you think will be the best Vice President Public Relations for Central Delhi Toastmasters.
One more member is left to vote. Please cast your vote.
Cast your vote, please.
Okay, we have all the votes in. Ending
All
the
right. Okay, let's see the results.
Sharing the results now.
Okay, so we have the results. Toastmaster Samkit Jain, I declare you elected as the Vice President Public Relations of Central Delhi Toastmasters for the term January through June 2022. Congratulations, Samkit.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
We now move on to the next position, and that is the Secretary. The floor is now open for nominations for the post of Secretary. Do we have any nominations? Sparshita, please unmute yourself.
I, Sparshita, would like to nominate myself for the position of Secretary.
Thank you. We have, do we have a second for Sparshita's nomination?
I second it.
Okay, thank you. Sadaf, I see your hand up. Do you have to say something?
I, Sadaf Ashraf, would like to nominate myself for the secretary position.
Thank you, Sadaf. Do we have a second for Sadaf's nomination?
I would like to second that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody else who wishes to be nominated for the post of Secretary? Going once, going twice, and it's now gone. I'm going to call for a motion to close nominations for the post of Secretary. Is there somebody who would like to propose? Yes, go ahead.
I propose to close the nomination for the post of Secretary.
Thank you. Any second?
I would like to second that.
Thank you. All those in favor of the motion to close nominations for the post of Secretary, please say yes.
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 All those against say no. The motion is adopted unanimously. The floor is now closed for nominations for the post of Secretary. We have two candidates, Sadaf Ashraf and Sparshita Verma. And I'm going to now call upon Sadaf to speak as to why we must elect her for the post of Secretary. Let's welcome Toastmaster Sadaf Ashraf.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I truly believe that the best possible way to improving yourself is by adding values in other people's life. I have nominated myself for the secretary position. Few months back, I have joined the Toastmaster Club to boost my confidence, and it really happened indeed. The reason I want to take the secretary position because I truly believe in the quote that to become a good speaker, you must also have to be a great listener. And to make a good minutes of meeting, I have to be attentive during the meetings, and it will enhance my listening skills. I'm also in the membership squad, help in the generating the leads in the past. And I will keep doing that despite of my post in the club. If I will get elected in the secretary position, I will help in the improvement of our club in every possible way. I will also support other post holder too in the upcoming future because any organization strength is their good team. And when we support each other, we automatically grow and hence it will bring the success of club too. And in a nutshell, we will support each other to grow as a personally and also as a team. Well, that's all from my side. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.
Thank you, Sadaf. Let's now welcome Toastmasters Sparshita Verma.
Hello, everyone. So as a secretary, I want to ensure certain things in the club. The first being circulating the minutes of the meetings on a fixed day every week. Because presently as a club member, I always feel that whenever I want the minutes of the meeting, it's like they are circulated very irregularly and it's disappointing sometimes. Secondly, I want to ensure that all the club files, documents, records are managed effectively and efficiently. Moreover, in the past, I have been holding various positions like assembly management team member, placement department representative, and house captain, which requires a lot of management skills, punctuality, and dedication into the work. I have an experience in writing, as I've written various pieces and have won various speech competition and essay competitions, which will definitely help me in framing the minutes of the meeting. I also want one more thing. I want to make minutes of the meeting as attractive as we can, because presently they are too text heavy and members often feel very tired reading them. Even I feel that. So I want to make it as visually, I want to add some graphics, I want to add some charts as representative as I can. And lastly, I would say that I really want to hold this position and help the club to grow. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sparshita. Let's now have the polls, but let's first have those who are not members removed from the room right now. You heard from the two candidates, Sadaf Ashraf and Sparshita Verma. Cast your vote for who you think will make the best club secretary. And the polls are now ready to be launched.
The polls are now launched.
Please cast your vote. Quickly. Let's be efficient. I can see Sadaf and Sparshita sweating. Who's going to be the club secretary? Anybody left to cast their votes?
2 members are left to vote. Please cast your votes.
Come on, don't be laggards. Cast your votes. We'll have to stay here all night if you don't. Is it done?
Okay. We'll close the polls in 5 more seconds if everyone is done with the votes. 5.
Madam President, only you can tell us whether everybody's done
4,
or not.
3, 2, 1. Okay, closing the polls now.
Can we have the results?
Sharing the results.
Okay, so we have the results. I declare Toastmasters Sparshita Verma elected as Club Secretary of Central Delhi Toastmasters for the term January through June 2022. Congratulations, Sparshita. We now have the position of Treasurer. The floor is now open for nominations for the post of Treasurer. Do we have a nomination for the post of Treasurer? Okay, we have Darshan. Darshan, can you unmute yourself?
Sir, I, Darshan, nominate myself for the post of Treasurer.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I second that.
Thank you. Do we have any other nominations for the post of Treasurer? I thought we had chartered accountants on this forum. That chartered accountant that I'm looking at is only smiling away, not raising her hand. Okay. I'm going to make another call. Is there any other person who wishes to be nominated for the post of Treasurer? Going once, going twice. Okay, I'm going to call for a motion to close nominations for the post of Treasurer.
I propose to close the nomination for the post of Treasurer.
Okay, we have a motion moved by Ankit to close nominations from the floor for the post of Treasurer. Is there a second?
I second that.
Thank you. We have a second. All those in favor of the motion to close nominations from the floor for the post of Treasurer, please say yes.
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 I think half of you have gone off to sleep. Please unmute yourself and say yes if you want to vote for the motion.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
All those who wish to vote against the motion, please unmute yourself and say no. Okay, nobody says no. So the motion is adopted. the nomination from the floor is closed for the post of treasurer. We have only one candidate, Darshan Singh, who is the nominee for the role of treasurer. I'm going to ask Toastmaster Shivangi to cast a single vote in favor of Darshan for the post of treasurer. Since there is only one candidate, we're going to dispense with the election. Shivangi, would you cast your vote? It would have been Darshan who would cast his vote, but Darshan is the one who's the candidate, and so he can't cast the vote for himself.
Okay. I, Shivangi Mittal, would like to cast one vote in favor of Toastmaster Darshan Singh on behalf of the club, elected as secretary for the term January 2022 to June 2022.
Thank you, Shivangi. I declare Toastmaster Darshan Singh elected as the club secretary for the term January through June 2022. Congratulations, Darshan.
The treasurer, right?
It's
Oh, sorry. Treasurer. Look, I'm now feeling sleepy, it seems.
These things happen, sir, in the meetings.
Yes. So yes, for the role of treasurer, not the secretary. Treasurer. Secretary, we elected Sparshita. Sparshita must have been getting a little worried. What is this? I've already been displaced. Okay. We now last role, and that of the Sergeant at Arms of Central Delhi Toastmasters. Do we have any nominations from the floor for Sergeant at Arms? We have 3 nominations, it seems. Let's first call upon Anchal. Please unmute yourself and say what you have to.
Yeah, I, Anchal Jain, want to nominate myself for the position of Sergeant at Arms for Central Delhi Toastmasters Club.
Thank you, Anchal. Is there a second?
I second that.
Okay, thank you. We have Navya Niti Makar. Navya, would you like to unmute yourself? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I would like to nominate myself for the post of Sergeant at Arms.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a second?
I second it.
Okay. And we have Puja. Puja, unmute yourself.
Hello everyone, I Puja Kotecha would like to nominate for the position of Sergeant at Arms for the term January to June 2022. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
I second it.
Thank you. So we have now 3 people who have nominated themselves from the floor. We have somebody who seconded them. Is there anybody else who wants to be nominated from the floor for the post of Sergeant at Arms? Hearing none, I'm going to now ask for a motion to close nominations from the floor. Is there somebody who wishes to move to close nominations?
I propose to close the nomination for the position of Sergeant at Arms.
Okay, is there a second?
I second that.
Thank you. We have a motion to close nominations for the post of Sergeant at Arms and a second. All those in favor, please say yes.
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 All those against say no. The floor is now closed for nominations for the post of Sergeant at Arms. We have 3 candidates. We have Anchal Jain, Puja Kotecha, and Navya Niti Makar. First up, let's hear from Toastmaster Anchal Jain.
Hello friends, as you already know, my name is Anchal Jain and I'm from a typical business class family where the importance of education was there, but how important it is to be involved in other extracurricular activities and other leadership roles, how these tiny little things are going to improve or groom your personality was always missing. This is something which I got to realize when I completed my chartered accountancy course and applied for the job. I found myself always hesitant appearing for an interview. I often miss the time when I had the opportunity to attend the college, but because of pursuing CA, I couldn't do so. If someone would ask me, if I had the chance to change my past, I would take up college first and then go for a chartered accountancy course. Obviously, CA has ample benefits, opportunities, but those opportunities which I'm not able to grab because of that lack of confidence may be resolved. Since I cannot go into the past and correct everything, I find this role as an opportunity to boost my confidence. And one reason to attend the meeting is, despite a lot of family commitments, I want to attend this physically. Three most important qualities which I feel are required in Sergeant at Arms is consistency. I'm one of the most consistent member for the past 6.5 months. Second is enthusiasm. The one person who is opening the meeting should be enthusiastic enough to keep the energy level up. I was quite keen to take every opportunity. Third one is innovative. If you get to hear same thing over and over, one day will come then when you will feel bored, don't you? Now, I'll make every effort to keep the energy level up and to have a surprise box in front of each of you, so that each one of you will be eager enough to attend it on time. Now, I request everyone to please cast their vote in favor of me for the Sergeant at Arms. Thank you.
Thank you, Anshul. Let's now welcome Toastmaster Puja Kutecha.
Hello everyone, I am Puja Kotecha. My story is also very similar to Achal. But before I get there, I would really like to start how I started my journey with Toastmasters about 6 months ago in May. I was somebody who couldn't even think of speaking for 30 seconds. And table topic was something really scared me. Not that it doesn't scare me now, but in this 6 months, I have broken that fear of raising my hand at least. Now I managed to do that and at least speak for 1.5 minutes. Like last time I spoke for about 1 minute 41 second, and that was an achievement in itself. So yes, Toastmasters has given me a lot in past 6 months, and it's really lovely to have so many people who are always pushing you and motivating you to always all the time. They are so positive and pushing you to just go and do and be there. And yes, even I come from a business family similar to what Achal said, and never really got an opportunity to speak in public. So Toastmasters has given a wonderful platform. And again, consistency is something I've been very regular with Toastmasters meeting, and now Tuesday meetings are my ritual. Now everyone knows Puja is not going to be available on Tuesdays. This is something, now it's a family for me, and I look forward to take up a role of Sergeant at Arms. And yes, thank you, Madam Toastmasters.
Thank you, Puja. Let's now welcome Toastmaster Navya Niti Makkar.
Hi everyone, I'm back. So I would, as I said in my last speech, you all know my journey with CDTM. CDTM has given me so much that this year has been like the happiest year from past 4 to 5 years I remember. And talking of the duties at for duties for CAA, I have been attending meeting regularly from past 2 months. Ever since I joined the club, the meeting shifted to hybrid, and I have been regularly attending it offline. And I know what all duties you have to perform when you meet the guests physically, to take care of all the physical assets at the end of the meeting, and to write all the things on the board, and put all the speakers and laptop, and take care of the hall, that the conference hall is booked at the time, and talk to the guests, attract them so that they are converted as the members and greet them properly. So I know all the duties because I have been attending the meeting regularly offline and also attend it in the future. Yeah, that's all from my end. I hope I get elected. Thank you.
Thank you, Navya. We now have heard from the three candidates, Toastmasters Anshul Jain, Puja Kotecha, and Navyaniti Makkar. It's now time for us to cast our vote. Are we ready with the poll?
Would take a few seconds to move the non-members to the waiting room.
Okay.
Okay, we're ready to cast our votes. Should I launch the poll?
Please do launch the poll. And this is going to be the last time, hopefully, that you're going to be able to cast your vote for this EC position. Please cast your vote for the candidate who you think will make the best Sergeant at Arms for Central Delhi Toastmasters. The member who receives a majority is the one who will be declared elected. Have you received? Okay, can we have the results, please?
Sharing the results.
Okay, unfortunately, no candidate has received a majority. And so we will now
So we do have a majority. Toastmaster Navya has received 42.
No, only 42%. She should have received, the candidate who receives more than 50% of the votes will be declared the winner.
Okay.
So majority is 50% of the votes of the members present. Since no candidate has received 50% or more than 50% of the votes, we will have to cast our votes again.
Okay, relaunching the poll.
Let's relaunch the poll and see what's going to happen now. Okay. Have we got all the votes in?
Waiting for 2 to 3 more members to cast their votes. 2 more people left to vote. Please cast your votes.
Come on, cast your vote quickly.
I hope everyone has casted their votes. So I will be closing the polls now.
Okay. Do we have the results?
Yes, sharing the results.
Okay, we still don't have a majority. And we will have to cast our votes a third time.
Launching again.
Okay. This is like Russian roulette.
I'm not able to see the polls. I'm not able to vote.
You can go on, click on more and then click on polls. Are you able to see the polls now?
Yes, Shivangi, done.
Okay. Closing the polls now.
Okay, do we have the results? Okay. We still don't have the results. Let's take a minute. Let's take a break. Okay, so let's just take a 2-minute break right now and come back in 2 minutes time. It's 21:34. Let's come back at 21:36, 9:36, so that we have a little break from the election and come back with a clear mind as to what we want to do.
So just
Madam
one
President,
point.
is that all right? Yes.
So in case of offline elections, what we used to do, because you himself did it, the candidate whosoever was the lowest getter was removed for the next round.
That used to be the requirement. Now that requirement is not there.
Okay.
So that requirement has changed, and according to the rules, we are required to continue voting until a candidate receives majority.
Or we can do one thing, that they will present their speeches again, so that they may have some better idea, and then we will have something to vote upon.
To break this thing.
Yes.
Okay. So let's take 2 minutes and come back in 2 minutes time.
Two minutes time is over. I would request everyone to return. Can I request everyone to switch on their camera so we can see that you are there?
Okay, so everybody, welcome back. I hope you took the opportunity of stretching a little bit. I did. I was so tired in this last hour and 15 minutes that I've been with you. And that's one of the reasons why I called for the break. Okay, so what we're going to do is, so that we get to know these three candidates once again, let's hear from them. But this time around, we'll hear from them only for 1 minute. In 1 minute, they now need to convince us that we must vote for them. And we're going to call upon first Anshul Jain. Toastmaster Anshul Jain, you have 1 minute.
Yeah. Are we attending meeting on time? Not really. Why? Because we keep on listening the same thing over and over again. The same introduction, the president is going to remain the same introduction about the president, the same motive of the meeting. But there isn't any motivation, story, or something new, which likewise our president is adding each time. So I would like to add that in my role if I get appointed. Well, I am a part of EC quality team, so I'm great at briefing, innovative. I'm innovative also. For the past 6.5 months, I have been into the group. I have thought of a lot of innovations, and that can prove my role as a sergeant at arms will prove to be a motivation for those who are keeping the family responsibilities at arms.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anshul Jain. It's now time to welcome Toastmaster Puja Kotecha. was all bundled up.
Hello again. Sorry, I'm suffering with cold, so excuse this attire of mine today. So yes, I've already been a part of Sergeant at Arms for a month. I had replaced the role of Rupal, and I think I did a great job there. I was there in the meeting on time. I was consistent, and in past 6 months, I have been constantly attending every meeting. So all the more reasons to choose me, because I will be there for every meeting, and you will see a lot of excitement and positive attitude, and the meeting will start on a great positive note with a lot of excitement and new interesting stuff, which you will know once you vote for me. Thank you. Over to Toastmasters.
Thank you, Puja. Let's welcome Toastmaster Navya Nitimakar.
So the most interesting elections, I think, I would like to say that I'm also the part of the membership department from past 1 month. So I am well aware of how to talk to people, how to tackle guests, and to take the problems and doubts and clear them. And also the plus point is that I attend meeting regularly offline only, and I come 1 hour before, because to help our past president Shivangi, because we come together. So I help her in arranging all the stuff in the conference hall, in setting up of laptop and speakers and whiteboard. And please vote for me and let's have our dinners because I think all of us are hungry.
Okay, thank you. That's a unique call for a vote. Vote for Navya only because we want to have our dinners, not for any other reason. Well, we've heard again all three of the candidates for the post of Sergeant at Arms. This has been the longest election for the post of Sergeant at Arms that I've witnessed in any club meeting yet. Are we ready to launch the poll?
Yes, sir. Relaunching the polls.
Cast your vote, hopefully for the last time, for the post of Sergeant at Arms. Has everybody cast their votes?
Yes, sir. Everyone has cast their votes. Closing the polls.
Okay, we're inching forward, but we still don't have the right answer. Let's have the votes once again.
The polls are now on everyone's screens.
Okay.
We have all the votes in.
I think all the candidates have their die-hard supporters.
Sharing the results, and this time for the last time.
Oh, really? For the last time? Okay. I declare Toastmaster Navya Nitimakar elected as the Sergeant at Arms of Central Delhi Toastmasters for the term January through June 2022. Congratulations, Navya, for this hard-fought election.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Shivangi, how many times did we cast polls for launch polls for the Sergeant at Arms position?
The listeners in the house, any answers?
5 times.
I think it's
5 times.
No, it was more than 5 times. It was 7 times, I think.
At least 6.
Yeah. Okay, so we now have the new executive committee who will take charge from 1st of January 2022. Let me tell you who they are. President Karanveer Singh, Vice President Education Ritik Dash, Vice President Membership Sanchit Bhushan, Vice President Public Relations Samkit Jain, Club Secretaries Sparshita Verma, Treasurer Darshan Singh, and Sergeant at Arms Navya Niti Makar. Congratulations to all of you. And congratulations to all our members for your diligence in voting for these candidates. It is up to you now to make the club successful and to make sure that you continue to grow and achieve as much as you can as communicators and leaders. For Toastmasters is where leaders are made. Madam President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepak Menon, for conducting a marathon elections meeting. This is definitely the longest and the most fun election meeting that we've ever had. So thank you, Toastmaster Deepak. I would also like to thank the nomination committee for conducting rigorous interviews for all the candidates. And finally, congratulations to all the elected club officers. I now give you the legacy to carry forward the club and make everything official. Now, we were supposed to have the installation ceremony, but I'm not going to make you wait for any longer. We will probably have to postpone that for the next meeting. So I would like to say sorry, Gajendra Khare sir, for making you wait for so long. Hopefully, we'll have you in a future meeting to install all the new elected club officers. And now the meeting officially ends. And any of the club officers would like to share any thoughts or a thank you speech.
Madam President, we should also have the results of the best speakers, etc., from the meeting.
Right. I'm sorry, my apologies, I forgot that. So I will be announcing the results. First of all, for the category of best speaker. Sir, did we launch the polls for the best speaker? Because I don't see the results.
Yes, we did.
Maybe that's because we got dropped off from the meeting, so the results have now.
Oh, the results have got washed out.
So actually, for the best speaker, since both the speakers crossed the time limit, so in any case, we can't have
disqualified.
For the best evaluator, I happen to remember the results. The winner was Toastmasters Sparshita Verma. Congratulations, Sparshita. And for the best auxiliary role player, I think it will remain a mystery who was the best auxiliary role player. So I would like to wish all the auxiliary role players declaring you as a winner today. And before I let you all go, can I request you all for a group picture? You can make some poses. Okay. In 3, 2, 1. Thank you, everyone. And the meeting now officially ends. All the club officers, if they want to share their thoughts, perhaps thank me, Deepak sir, or anybody, now would be the time. Please go ahead.
Yes, I would like to go first. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for trusting me with the responsibility as a president today. With the baton in my hands now, I feel more responsible than ever. And as promised, I will be working with the EC team, the newly elected, with a very demographic elections today. And we'll ensure that with the goals which we have thought for everyone, we are able to fulfill those. We'll ensure that we are able to deliver to the best and make sure every CDTMite is a proud and confident Toastmasters. And there is a long list of people I would like to thank, because your love and support is something which has made me stand for this position and made me elect as well. I would like to take a moment to thank Toastmaster Karthik, Toastmaster Shivangi, Toastmaster Ankit, Toastmaster Gursifat, Toastmaster Gurpreet Babbar, Toastmaster Rashmi, Distinguished Toastmaster Deepak Menon, Toastmaster Gajendra Khare, Toastmaster Shivali, and in fact, all the members present in the meeting and who have been members for past 6 terms. Because from each and every one of you, I have learned a lot. Everyone is a teacher for me, and I look forward to serve you all. And a special thank you to Toastmaster Gajendra Khare today. He was there throughout our meeting, and Due to the paucity of time, we couldn't have our installation ceremony. Thank you so much, sir, for being here, and we look forward to have you in the next meeting for the as our installation ceremony officer. And thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Shivangi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Karanveer. I would like to invite Toastmaster Ritvik Dash.
So what a lovely dance of democracy we had. So thank you very much for giving me the better baton of the education department. I will surely do justice to it by taking my experience and intricacies into your experiences. And moreover, I would love to thank the Toastmaster whom I always look up to, and that is Sagar Duggal, though he's not in this meeting because of his never giving attitude. I've already spoken about him before. And also to all the people out here, I won't be taking any specific names out right now, because all of you are very much some people who have actually inspired me in their own ways, recommendations after speeches and something that have always helped me. But the place of Mr. Sagar Duggal in my life is something I will never forget because of his never ending, that never give up attitude. So it was very important to take up this name. So I would believe that all the members are gifted in their own ways. Maybe we work, promote those strengths and cover up and level up, develop skills to cover up those weaknesses. So all that being said, very much over to the election chair.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritvik. Toastmaster Samkit, please go ahead.
Firstly, thank you to everyone for choosing me for the post. And I will try my best to work beyond your expectations. And I will like to thank especially Toastmaster Zubair, who taught me the work he was doing in the VPPR post. And I feel that I can take this role forward. And thank you so much, everyone. Back to President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Samkit. Toastmaster Sanchit, would you like to share a few thoughts?
I will add guest as much as I can to ensure the strength of the club, and hope they all will join on the sport so that we would have the diversity of members in the club, so that club may progress and will have a name in the nearby region or the.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanchit. Toastmaster Sparshata, would you like to go ahead?
Yes, thank you everyone for showing faith in me. And as I said in my speech, I'll try to give my best and will try to be as much as dedicated to this position. Especially thanking TM Shivangi and TM Ritvik to help me out in this. So thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sparshata. Toastmaster Darshan.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to thank everyone here, the current EC, that is the president, Toastmaster Shivangi, you, Toastmaster Karthik, Toastmaster Karanveer, and respected Deepak Menon sir. Well, before joining CDTM, I can say that I was a very shy type of person and could not open with everyone. So CDTM has taught me a lot, and being in the EC in this term has just put an accelerator in my growth and in just my communication skills. And with the help of Toastmasters, I have also got few internships also in my college that was that was out of beyond my reach, and being selected in one of the respected companies, that is my government India, and helping them. So yeah, being in this position right now, as we heard earlier, that it is a CFO, that is a Chief Financial Officer. So I can only say that your money is in safe hands. So that's it.
Thank you, Toastmaster Darshan. We trust you that our money is safe in your hands. Next, can I invite Toastmaster Navya?
Yeah, thank you everyone. And I hope I start every meeting with energy and make make every meeting fun. And I would just like to thank everyone for electing me. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Navya, and thank you to all the club officers newly elected for sharing their thoughts. Anybody else who would like to share anything with us, any thoughts, please feel free to go ahead. Toastmaster Gajendra Khare.
Actually, this time I am little bit feeling, because I've been thrown out of the breakout room. I was participating in this election process many times. Deepak sir can vouch for that, witnessing that, and that was a wonderful election, I can see, and it is an amazing feeling. So I congratulate each one of you to take the club to the greater heights. Thank you very much. It's always a privilege to be a CDM, because I was a member since past 7 years continuously, and I see the lovely faces and I learned a lot. And then definitely it is going to be a wonderful year ahead for all of you, because you have been given a great responsibility, which will definitely help you to be a good leader, and it will help you to contribute in your professional success as well. So congratulations, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Khare sir, for sharing your words of encouragement. Can I also invite Deepak sir to share a few words of encouragement?
You've only heard encouragement from me all through this meeting. I think I've been the one speaking the most all of today evening. I'm probably done for this year now. I don't think I need to speak anymore. And remember, I said this year. So 2022 is still to come. But I'm looking forward to this new EC for carrying forward the legacy of Central Delhi Toastmasters. I thought that the last 6 months have been wonderful. Shivangi, you've really raised the bar. Each president has created the legacy, and not just created, but built on the legacy. So built on the legacy, created a new legacy, and has ensured that Central Delhi Toastmasters continues to be the best club in the district. So that's a lot that the new EC has to look forward to, and I'm sure that they are up to it. With Karanveer as the leader of the team, I'm sure we're going to go places. Wish you all the very best.
Thank you, Deepak sir. Toastmaster Ankit was also raising his hand. So
Yeah.
please go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. And thank you, Deepak sir. And a special thank you to the outgoing EC. You guys did an amazing job throughout. That was not a simple thing. We were short of members. There were so many obstacles, offline, online, everything. But you were there all the time. And that is why that today we have so many contenders for these positions. Just remember the last midterm election where we have very few candidates. And today, for every position, just 2 and 3 persons are. And the one thing that I noticed, that all the contenders were so much dedicated. They are committed for their role. They want to do something for the club. And I have witnessed these elections. I have a feeling that it was just like a 2-3 years old election where we used to compete. Just 3-4 members, single position election, go on and on and on. So today, I got that feeling, and I can say that CDTM is in safe hands. So great job, guys, and congratulations to the new EC. You have big role to do. Toastmaster Shivangi and her team has done an amazing work, set new heights. You will have to work really hard. So all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Ankit sir. If anyone else would like to share their thoughts, please go ahead, or we can call it a night and have our dinners.
Yes, let's call it a night, Madam President.
All right, well, thank you everyone for tuning in to this time. This has probably been the longest meeting that we've ever had. Thank you, and see you all next meeting. So the next one is going to be a term end meeting, a special one. So I would encourage you all to come to the venue if possible, or at least try and attend online, but do join. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night.
Bye, everyone.